before the gates opened, there was still a moment when she could have turned back. The world of light still existed behind her. Uruk still burned with life. Her name still moved through temples, through bodies, through kings. It was not too late, but Inanna did not turn. She stepped forward, and the gate closed behind her. The sound did not echo, it ended. A voice rose from the darkness, the gatekeeper, unseen, unmoved, ancient as the realm itself. He did not bow, he did not recognize her crown. He spoke only the law: to enter the underworld is to be stripped. The first gate opened, she crossed, a hand was raised, her crown, the mark of her authority, the symbol of her dominion over heaven and kings, lifted from her head. She had worn it so long, she had forgotten its weight. Without it, the air felt different, colder. She did not reach for it. She moved forward. The second gate opened. Again, the voice. Again, the law. Her earrings were taken, the ornaments that marked her divine awareness, her connection to the world that listened when she spoke. Gone. The silence of the underworld pressed closer. For the first time, nothing answered her. She moved forward. The third gate. Her necklace was removed, the piece that rested against her chest, that guarded her, that adorned her power, lifted away. The space it left behind felt exposed, unprotected. The air touched her differently now. She moved forward. The fourth gate opened. Her breast ornaments, the symbols of her femininity, her fertility, her ability to draw life into being, stripped. The force that once pulled the world toward her began to loosen, as if something within her was no longer being answered. Still, she did not stop. The fifth gate. Her belt, the mark of position, of order, of place within the structure of the world above. Taken, she felt it then. Not fear, but absence. There was no structure here, no above, no below, only this. She moved forward. The sixth gate opened. Her bracelets were removed. The symbols of action, of will, of the power to do, lifted from her wrists. Her hands fell still at her sides, not restrained, but no longer instruments. The world had always moved when she acted. Here, nothing moved, and still she walked. The seventh gate, the final threshold. There was nothing left to protect, nothing left to declare who she was. The gatekeeper did not hesitate. He spoke, and her final garment was taken. And Inanna, Queen of Heaven, stood stripped of everything. No crown, no gold, no symbols, only form, only presence, only what could not be removed. For a moment, there was nothing. No movement, no sound, only the weight of what she had become. And then she stepped forward. Into the throne room of the underworld. The air did not move, it did not carry sound, it did not respond, it simply existed. Heavy, endless, still. And there, at the center of that vast, unmoving space, sat Ereshkigal, unmoved, unchanged, unimpressed. She did not rise, she did not speak, she did not need to, because nothing had been interrupted, nothing had arrived that altered the order of her world. Inanna stood before her, not as a queen, not as a force, but as one who had entered, and in that realm, that was all that mattered. Ereshkigal looked upon her sister. She had never seen her like this, stripped, silent, small, not diminished, but revealed. For the briefest moment, something passed through her, not triumph, not anger, not mercy, only the weight of knowing this is what happens. Then it was gone, and she was stillness again. The silence between them was not empty, it was judgment. No crown protects you here. No name holds power here. No being escapes what this place is. Inanna did not speak. There was nothing she could say, because for the first time, there was nothing left to assert. And so the judgment was passed, not in words, but in action. The forces of the underworld moved, silent, precise, unquestioning. They seized her, not as enemies, not as conquerors, but as extensions of the law. And in a single, irreversible moment, the Queen of Heaven was struck down. Her body fell. Her breath ceased. Her light vanished. There was no thunder, no resistance, no war, only the stillness that follows the end of movement. And in that stillness, they lifted her and placed her upon the great peg, the hook of the underworld that holds all who enter without surrender. Hung, suspended between what she had been and what she now was. Above, the heavens continued. The earth still turned. Voices still rose, but something had shifted. Because the force that stirred desire, that moved kings, that refused stillness, was gone, and far below. In the kingdom that does not change, Ereshkigal remained, unmoved, because nothing had been broken, nothing had been taken, nothing had been done outside the law. This was how the world worked, and for the first time since the beginning, the balance tilted, not through war, not through rebellion, but through a truth that no power can escape. Even a goddess cannot enter death and remain unchanged. Above, Ninshubur waited. She had watched her queen descend. She had counted the silence, and now she understood. Waiting was over, and the world was about to answer.